Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. What I do on this channel is I review my source code. So if you're interested in this source code, check the description below for my contact information. Today I will be showing you a software I wrote for managing urgent care business. So I already have my Visual Studio open here. I will go ahead to publish this software and install it on my machine. Okay, my publish is done, so I will install this software on my machine now. Alright, so when you first run the software, this is the screen you're going to see. We already have a user account created immediately you run the software for the first time. We have a user account created with a default credentials. So I will go ahead now and log in with that. I'll log in with the default credentials created. So that is 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. We'll click continue to ask for password. The password is also 1 2 3 4. I'll click login. It's going to ask me to change this password. Okay, enter current passcode, enter new passcode. I will repeat the same 1 2 3 4. Repeat passcode 1 2 3 4 also, and then click change password. So my passcode is changed now. So now I can go ahead and log into the system. I am logged in now. So the first thing I will do is I will go to settings and change my business settings. To do that, you go to settings here, click on business settings. So here I will update the name to be Orlando Urgent Care. I will set my address to be 32 Park Avenue. Phone number, let's use any random number here, and the email address, let's just formulate an email, Orlando Urgent Care @gmail.com. I will also change the logo here to something nice. I save. Alright, so I have my business settings set up for me. So I will go ahead now to also create the role and the user accounts. Okay, so I'll go to account, I'll go to role manager. You can see we just have one role here, which is the default role that was created when you first run this application. So I'll go ahead to create another role. I'll call this nurse, and this role should only have access to dispense medication and dispense history. So I add. I can refresh now to see that my role has been created for me successfully. I will now go ahead to create the account. Let me close this out. So go to account managing. So you see we only have the default account that was created for us here. You can see the employee ID. So I will go ahead to create a new account. This can be your physician, your nurse, your doctor, whichever one. So I'll create an account here. Let's call the username John Doe. So for the employee ID, it could be your employee's tag. You could scan your employee tag, or you could do a scannable ID card, whatever, just something that could be picked up by a barcode. I have one here, so I can easily just scan it in. for my employee ID. So that's my employee ID here. Alright, so I will give it a custom password instead. Let's give it 1 2 3 4 5 as the passcode. Now I will select the nonce role I created area. Title Mr. Do John. Phone number we'll use random also. Then for the image, I have a dummy image here, John Doe. You can use this and you click add. So that's it. I've created a user account. Let me close this out. So now I will go ahead to create my medications. But before I create medication, you are required to create your medication type first. If I go to type management, you will see our type management is empty. So let me go ahead and create a type management first, as that is a prerequisite to creating a medication. So I'll go to create type. Let me call this a tablet, and for the description I can say solid form of medicament. I add to the system. If I refresh, my medication type has been added. Now I will add another type. Let's add the cream. Let me call this one semi-solid form of medicament. So I click add. Alright, so if I refresh now, you will see our cream and tablet has been added. Okay. Alright, so the next thing now is adding medication to the system. So I have the medications that I intend to add here now with me. They both have the barcode scanner, the barcode labels. So adding medication will require me to scan their barcodes. So to add medication first, I need to go to create medication here. So you can see we have the code here. So this is where you will be scanning the code onto. So you will require a barcode scanner, something like this, for scanning your medications. So I will start with Protonis. I will scan my Protonis. Alright, so I'll come here to add the name Protonis generic is a pantoprazole. I already have it written somewhere here. Pantoprazole. So pantoprazole Protonis is a tablet. I'll leave the quantity here as 0. Later on, we are going to make a supply for this medication, so that we will now increment our quantity. So but for the other quantity here, I will leave it as 2. Okay. So dosage unit 40 mg, administrative unit, let's say 40 mg also. NDC number, let's just enter any random number here. You can enter comment, it's optional. Then for the image, I already have the image on my system here somewhere, Protonis, yeah. So I will add another medication. This time around, we're going to add a cream called Cotizo 10. I don't know if this is the correct pronunciation. Cotizo 10. Oh no, I'm supposed to scan the barcode here. So I will scan for my Cotizo 10. Then enter the name. cortisol 10. Generic should be hydro something, I don't know, hydro something. So but for type we would go enter cream. We also leave the quantity at 0. Then the other level is 1. Dosage unit 3 mg. 3 mg. Enter random number here and our image. Cortisone 10. Yeah, cortisone, not zone, cortisone 10. So I add medication created successfully. So the next thing will be to receive a supply, and to do that I'll go to supply management. See, our supply management is empty. We don't have any supply received yet. So to receive a supply, I will go to receive medication here. Now I will need to scan in those medications that I've created earlier. So I will start with my Protonix. I will scan my Protonix now. So the more you scan, if you scan again, the quantity is going to increment. You can see, look at the quantity, the supply quantity here. You can see that it keeps incrementing. Yeah. All right. So you can see our available quantity at the moment is 0, and we are receiving 3 in this supply. So I will go ahead and scan another medication. So I'm receiving 2 medication here. I'm going to receive 3 Protonix, and I'm going to receive 2 cortisone 10. So I will scan in my cortisone 10 now. I'll scan again, or I can come to this, double click and enter to here, then click adjust. It's going to adjust my supply quantity to 2 here. Okay, so I can leave a comment. Let me say supplied by AZ drugs maybe. All right, everything is good. To clear out the list, you can click here, clear list, or to clear individual medications, you can click their respective link here. So, but now I will click on receive supply to receive these medications. Do you wish to receive this supply? Yes, of course I do. Click yes. Supply is saved successfully. Okay, so if I go back and go to my medication management, no, go to my supply management actually. Supply management. Okay, I need to do a search here now, and my supply will appear here. You can see a supply number was generated for me. You can see my comment. You can see the user who processed this supply and the date it was created. All right. So the next thing now will be for me to add my patient. To add my patient, you see we have the patient menu here. If I go to patient management, our patient management is empty. If I refresh, you see we have 0 records here. So to create a new patient, I need to go to patient, create patient. Now you need to enter the MRN. The MRN is the medical record number, so you need to enter the MRN. So I will just assign a random MRN to this patient, 111222. Enter the patient title, Mr. Let's say Hasselman. Scott. Sex, male. Date of birth, somewhere around 1983. February 2nd, 1983. We would enter a random phone number also. Then for image, we can browse for new image. Okay, let me use this as myself. Okay, so you can also get your image from the webcam. You can use this camera to get your image from the webcam, but I'm using my webcam right now, so I don't want to disrupt my video. Okay, so I'll just click add to add this patient. You can see patient created successfully. I'll click OK. If I refresh on the patient management now, you see we have our patient here created for us. All right. So after creating a patient, we need to, when the patient visits the urgent care center, you need to log that visitation. You need to create a visitation. So that's where this visitation comes. That's where it comes. So when the patient comes, could be the patient is having a stiff neck, is having ulcer. The patient comes, you need to record it. So to do that, you use this admit patient on the visitation here, admit patient. But first of all, I'll go to visitation management here. So for now, we don't have any patient currently on admission. You can see is our record here is returning 0. We don't have any patient currently on admission. So to admit a patient, we'll go to visitation, admit patient. So here now you need the patient MRN number, the one you assigned to the Scott Hasselman earlier. So the patient need to come with his or her MRN, medical record number. So the patient gives you the medical record number. Let's use the one of Scott. For example, it gives you 111222. You do a search. So you can see we have our patient here. We have the details. You can see the last visit date here is empty. This is because we have not admitted this patient before. The patient is coming for the first time. We've not admitted the patient before. This is going to be his first admission. So on admission, you are required to also again assign a visit number or admission number. We can call it visit ID or admission number. You are required to assign it to this patient. So I will give this patient 333444 as the admission number. Then you can leave a comment if you wish to. It's optional. You can leave a comment. So I will leave a comment. So this patient is coming for let's say ulcer diagnosed of ulcer and skin disease exactly, because the medications we have are for ulcer, I think, and for skin disease. So this patient is coming for ulcer. He has to come for ulcer. It's coming for ulcer and for skin disease. So I'll go ahead and admit this patient. Do you wish to admit patient? Yes, I wish. Click yes. Patient admitted successfully. So if you go back to our visit management here, you can enter the patient's visit number 333444 and search, and here we have our visitation record here. You can see that, because you can see the visit number, the patient MRN, the patient name, the comment. You that we made earlier, admitted by the user that admitted this patient, admitted on the date the patient was admitted. This is the status. This still open, which means that this patient is still admitted in the center. Discharged by, discharged on. This will come on when the patient is discharged. Okay, so you can close this visitation here by just right clicking on this record here and say close visit. So when you do close visit, it's as if you are discharging this patient. You understand? You are discharging the patient. So when you close this visit, the visitation I status here will obviously change. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is, we have a patient admitted already to us, right? So we now go ahead to issue medications to this patient. So we are giving out medication to this patient, but I'm going to do this with a different account. The account I created earlier, John Doe account I created earlier, which I gave permission to only access the dispense menu. So that is the account I'm going to use to dispense medication for this our patient. So what I will do, let me close this. I'll close the application also. I will reopen the application again. Track RS, that's the name. And now I am going to be logging in as John Doe. Remember, we used the tag. We scanned the barcode on the tag when we were creating the account, so we would also need that card to log in. So I will also go ahead to scan the tag again. Sorry, I need to have this focused here. Okay. All right. So you can see we have John Doe now. So the system requires us to now enter John Doe's passcode. We gave him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as passcode, if I could remember. Alright, so we are logged in as John Doe. You can see here we have John Doe here, and we have the row nonce. You can change passcode here if you want. Let's change passcode. You can change the passcode here. You can also view the version of the software on the right hand side here. Alright, so you can see that John Doe only have access to the privileges we give to this nonce role. So he only has access to dispense medication, and the dispense history. Okay, so first of all, let me go to dispense history. Okay, so here I'm expected to enter a patient visit ID, the one we gave out earlier, if you could remember. So I'm expected to enter it here. We gave 333444. That's for Scott. We'll search. So when we search, you will notice that we don't have any medication dispensed yet for this visitation. Okay. So what I will do now is to go ahead and issue medication and dispense medication to this patient. Or else I'll go to dispense medication here. Okay. So I would also enter the visit ID. I search. So it fetches me the details of the patient. You can see we have visit ID here. We have the date he was admitted and the user that admitted the patient. You can see super admin admitted him. The patient name, Mr. Scott here. Okay, so now I need to issue medications. So I will need to scan in those medications that I want to issue to this patient. I will start with my protonist. I'll scan in my protonist. Okay, so I'm going to issue 3. and my cotinazole 10. Yeah, I'm going to also issue 2. We'll have 2 in stock, so I'll issue 2. All right, I can add a comment. Okay, I had to issue this. Patient was vomiting. This is just random comment. So I'll click dispense medication to dispense these medications to this patient. Right, so my medication was dispensed successfully. Click OK. All right, so after issuing medication, it logs you off and brings you back to this screen. Okay, so if you want to issue another drug for another patient, you need to log back in. But now what I will do is I will log back in as the admin, so we'll check our dispense history. Okay, so I will log back in. Use 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So I'm back in. If I go to dispense history, I will search 33444. You will see we now have 2 medications dispensed by John Doe to our patient. Okay, so I will close this out. So what I want you to also see is when I go to my medication here, you will see our available stock is now 00. So we have issued out everything that we received in the supply. Remember, we received Protonis 3 pieces, and we received cortisone 10 too. So we have issued it out. If I go to report, go to my reorder report, you will see that we have our 2 medications up here for reorder, because we entered the reorder quantity as 1 for cortisone 10 and 2 for Protonis. You see that. So the available quantity is now 00, so both of the items are now up for reorder. Okay, you could also check your inventory report also here. All right, so for this dispense medication report, so it is going to show you the medications that was dispensed as a report. So I will enter the visit ID again, 333444, and search. We're going to have a report of the items in our medication that was dispensed. You could see that on so and so day and time we dispensed Protonis, cortisone 10, we dispensed 3 and 2 respectively, and it was dispensed by John Doe. Okay, so that is it. I believe I've covered everything. So the application also comes with this backup and the restore here. You can always back up the database. You can give it a name and restore anytime. That is it. So that is it, guys. If you're interested in this source code, I will drop my contact information on the description. You can always reach out for me for this source code. Thank you, guys, and have a great day.